right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. 3 reviews, 1 impressions up this week. The first review of which is FloCity. I'm going with that. It could be FloCity, like they were going with a pun here, but there's nothing here that indicates velocity. So FloCity it is. Anyway, canal digging. A unique gameplay of City Builder is offered in FloCity. Dig freeform canal networks for runtime AI shipping, reform shorelines, smooth traffic flow, develop lands around busy ports before the resource island sinks. By learning from the playful connections between desire and time pressure in Amsterdam's city growth in Golden Age. FloCity simplify the economic mechanics of energy flow, the way of digging freeform canal networks for runtime AI shipping provides unique perspective and experience for City Builder. Cities grow by reforming shorelines, smoothing AI traffic flow, and developing plots around the busy ports. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this game is from the Netherlands.
Why do you say that?
Well, the fact that we've got futuristic space empire Amsterdam.
Fair enough.
Like ethnocentrism isn't just for us or the Japanese. You know, it's like typically when you see a place, it's probably because those people are from place X. Doubly so if it's like from a place that doesn't get mentioned often. You know,
Amsterdam is comparatively important.
True, but how much do you get to see Amsterdam in media? Especially compared to like London or Paris. Or even like Berlin.
Fair.
Like, couple that with the fact that this game is all about building canals and waterways. Yeah, this was made by the Dutch, I bet. Like, don't have a 100% certainty on that, but I'd be more surprised if it wasn't. But that's beside the point because, like I said, this is all about building a canal network in not Amsterdam. In Golden Age, the world is flooded Amsterdam or something like that. Or at least attempting to. I
don't think the world has to be that flooded.
It's flooded enough.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to flood the Netherlands, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But that's the trick here, because this game is all about building, or at least attempting to build, various water paths. Because there are no roads here, there are no railroads, there's no planes. There's nothing but the sea. And your job is to try and build a civilization here before the donut runs out. So first things first, the game is very striking to look at. Especially the opening title screen, and some of the built-up civilization stuff looks pretty impressive. The actual land is weird. I'm not sure why they went with this purple shading and with all the pluses. I mean, that's to designate where you put the plates, but they could. I think they could have hid that better, or at all. Looks. It looks bad. Honestly, and everything is very bright and neon. Like, though I think Petty is experiencing the main problem I had with this game, and that is the utter lack of fucking direction outside of a brief tutorial. Like, there was not enough tutorial in this game. Because, this game is pretty simple in its options. Like, you only have two tools. You have the let's call it the digital erase thing, the thing that removes land and allows you to make canals, hopefully. And then there's the plates. Like, they don't really have a designation, but those are the things you put down in order to build towns and shit. Pretty slippery to down. Like, but the thing is, how you actually get a civilization going is kind of up in the air. I was not exactly sure how that was going to happen, because this game doesn't really tell you, nor does it tell you about certain things, like about the red and green things. The red is an enemy of some sort that destroys your ships, and the green thing is the defender that will come and destroy the red thing. I had to look that up in a YouTube video. Like, it's quite the amazing conundrum when I think about it with what this game is going on. Like, okay, you simplified the game, but it's also really convoluted, because there's actually a lot going on here, and you have no idea how to put things together. Like, like, what I'm saying is, and it's worse because, like, even though this game tries to present itself as a casual, relaxing, almost zen-like type of game, no. It's actually incredibly frustrating, because it's just, you don't build canals willy-nilly and go to the next stage or land or whatever they're calling it. You've actually got to build the canals in a certain way. That's what the PR materials were talking about. But the game gives you no fucking direction in how to do that. It's like, you're just gonna have to figure that out until you start seeing ships going to and fro, and a lot of ships, because you have to get a certain amount of score in order to progress to the next level.
Yeah, I think this went a little too far with, like, an old school mentality.
Here's the thing, like, I can't say that it went with an old school mentality, because fucking Civilization, SimCity, like, even the oldest iterations, they would explain shit to you.
Fair.
Even if it was like in the big ass manual it came with, they would make sure that you understood what was going on with the tools and mechanics. And if you couldn't piece it together from that was on you. This game falls into the trap of not explaining enough shit. for you to, and like in the video I looked up, was complaining about this lack of direction as well, and that really is the fatal flaw here. Like, I'm like, this could have, like, I get what they were going for. They were trying to narrow it down to the, saw it down to the bone kind of deal.
But they went too far, and now there's no meat.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not that there's no meat. It's all, it's the bad cuts where you if you want them to be juicy and succulent, you have to put a lot of time and effort. Yeah, you basically have to barbecue them. You put it into a pit in the ground and let it cook for 18 hours at least in order for it to be eaten.
I do like barbecue.
That's this game. Yeah. Like, that's this game, because I'm sure if you can get this to work, it'll work. It's just figuring all that out.
Without losing your goddamn mind.
Yeah. Like, and, for that reason alone, I would rather much play, a SimCity game or Tropico or, a far less stylized and more traditional city builder, which, may not be as specialized as this is, but is far more understandable.
Hell, I'd almost rather play a train sim game. Like some of those archaic Japanese ones. At least you have something you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And so in terms of pricing, this game clocks in at $10.99, which I guess is fair enough for what's on display here. It's just, I can't, like, the price to me is immaterial because I can't really recommend this unless you're really into making canals.
Unless the devs decide to update and add a, comprehensible tutorial that doesn't require some kind of fourth dimensional thinking.
Or extensive online viewership to YouTube videos. Like, I get they wanted people, to suss things out, but there's too little in the way of tutorialization here. I know I keep coming back to that point, but I can't repeat it enough.
Right.
It's like,
there's a reason why a lot of sim games have tutorials that are like multiple games worth.
Yeah, or like back in the day, no shit. The manuals were really fucking thick.
You got 3-ring binders with some of them, didn't you?
I believe so.
Either 3 or some of them was like little wire-bound books. Like, it was nuts.
Yeah, it's like, and I get that there's not that much going on in this game, but there's more than what's on display in that dinky tutorial. So, maybe you don't have to put out a 3-ring binder, but more than, it's like more than what you got here, which is
maybe a few page PDF that's linked in the Steam page.
Something that explains all the fucking systems.
Yeah. Like, even if you don't want to put it in the game itself to preserve the simplicity, something that's still easy enough that we don't need to go digging around outside of either the game or at least the game's Steam page.
Yeah, it's like, if I'm having to do outside, research, you've failed in your tutorialization.
Because I'm looking at the Steam page right now, and I'm not even seeing a link to a manual, which a lot of games have. There's only an update history, related news, discussion board, and community groups, which, I mean, fine, but it's definitely the amount of digging you have to do to find something to make this game somewhat tolerable is way too much for the average person.
Yep. Yeah. I would also say that the building mechanic is way too basic, but, you know, for how much of a major part that's being played, because that, you know, that's ignoring the, you know, some of the fun of city building, being able to build a city.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this game went way too hard on, look at the canals you can build, without giving much forethought into how to build a city, you know, other than just like placement.
Right.
You know, it's like I said,
Look at my whimsical fluid dynamics. Yeah, but how do I build a city? My fluid dynamics.
yeah, like, honestly, just pick up like City Skyline or something. Like,
Isn't it about the
once
same
again,
price, or probably a little bit more? But
it's more expensive, and it's you know, much more complex, but it's also much more comprehensive.
yeah, and comprehensible.
Uh-huh. Like, what they got here is like elements of a proper city builder. Like, this is the terraforming tool that came with SimCity 2000.
Right.
More than anything else. So, you know, I could go on, but it would just be beating this particular drum over and over again. That is how dissatisfied. Like, anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for FloCity here. Be sure to tune in after the break, as Petty Fan will be reviewing Hunting Pearl Creek.